With Chico Hermini Horses, retired cross-country coach at Wyoming Indian High School. Talking to a lot of Native Americans, I know running is definitely in the blood of many, and during your coaching career, you definitely helped bring it out in many potential runners. Kind of talk about how your coaching career went.
I love running. I always did love running, even when I was a kid. I wasn't that outstanding of a runner, but I really enjoyed it. And when I got tired and when I started doubting myself, I used to go back to those old histories in my mind and think about what all those old warriors did when things got tight for them. And so when I got the opportunity to start coaching, I started incorporating all that history into our training, and it worked for us. It worked real well for us. And people started doubting themselves to think back to some of what our ancestors did and the great accomplishments they did, and I had some really outstanding athletes, but they became better when things got tougher and harder because they used to always think and go back to the ancient times of their histories too and their tribes. So it worked out well for us, and it's still working.
Has much changed over the years?
Some people are getting into sports specific, just running instead of doing all the other sports. At Wyoming Indian, we've been fortunate and lucky enough that a lot of our student athletes they do all three sports, and so doing that, they're becoming mentally and physically stronger. You go to some of the other schools and stuff, the distance runners, that's all they do is they run distance all year long. As a result of that, you see a lot of injuries. I always figured if you have an injured athlete, the coach did not do his job properly. And I always blamed the coaches for the injuries because, those athletes are buying into the coach's program. He's pushing them too hard and they're getting hurt. It's the coach's fault, not the kid's fault. And so if you have injuries, the coach is not doing his job. That's my philosophy.
And at first you started in South Dakota, then you decided to come to Wyoming. And did you find much of a difference? There's more schools over there. The school we were at was quite large. There was a little over 500 kids there. We had a lot of kids off for cross. And when you get anyways 40, 50 kids, we had 68 kids at cross country at one time. And you get that many kids out and you have two coaches, you're just managing things instead of training. And other than running, the managing part, there's no difference in running. People are competitors. People love to run. People want to get better. People want to be the best, and they want to work at it. It's the same here in Wyoming. But we have the advantage of altitude. So we go to races in South Dakota. They have a Lakota Nation Invitational cross-country meet, and we've gone back to. We're coming from 6,000 feet down to 2,000. And, yes, it's an advantage for us. And just lately, South Dakota girls went up to 5,000 meters. They used to run 4,000. And, again, that was an advantage for us. But coming from the mountains, coming from running hills down to flatlands and flat races, that's our advantage. But, for the kids, those that enjoy running, those that want to be better, that hard work is the same no matter where you're at. Reservation or off reservation, doesn't matter. So, looking back in your coaching career, what did you get out of it the most?
Boy, it was fast, I tell you that. What I got out of it is the good feeling I see when I see some of our students and their families, the ex-students that have graduated on and their families, and they're not a burden to their family, they're not a burden to their tribe, they're not a burden to society. They're picking up and they're doing stuff with their family and they're running and they're doing well. That's what I get out of it. I see that and that's, I did my job. It's not the kids in college. We got a couple of boys in running college of our own and stuff. But when I look out and I see that kid that busted his butt for us, and maybe he wasn't the first one, but he worked his butt off for us and he got the team titles. But he's got a family now and he's doing well and he's not in trouble. He's taking care of his family. That is what makes me feel like, hey, I did my job. I'm okay.
And for anyone who's considering coaching or maybe they're just going through a tough time, what maybe can you tell them?
I could tell them that, everybody's going to hit a down spot. It's just like running. You're going to get someplace where you doubt yourself. You're going to hit a down time. But just keep your head up and keep forging ahead and talk to other people. So, I'm standing here talking to you, and there's a lot of people that sit behind me that got me here.
my buddies, Scott Christine, especially my wife, Julie Rennie Orsis. But I got to remind me, I got my college track coach. I got Bob Harms. I got the guys from Wind River. All these guys helped me at one point or another. The old cross-country coaches that would come up and say, hey, how do you do this? Or I'd ask them, how do you do this? You know, and just be inventive. We have a workout where we run with rocks in your hand. We run with rocks in your hand up a hill. And then we put them down, and it's running a lot easier then. But just be inventive and ask questions. Coaches are easy to share. There's no secret to winning. It's called hard work. That's all it is. And have fun. My golly, laugh with your kids and don't be so serious. You know, that's what young coaches coming out. I envy them. I wish I was back there again, but my time was up. It's time for somebody else to take over. But ask around and have fun with them, because life is hard. For 5, 15, 20 minutes, we're taking the hardness of life away and we're doing the enjoyment of sports. And that's what it's supposed to be.